Welcome back to the Homestead. My name is Brock, and I am going to talk about the side-by-side. So, I don't know where I left off, but anyway, I did end up getting the parts I needed and whatnot. Had to order a few more. So, start off with side-by-side came in because it didn't run. This is a side-by-side. It's a 09 Prowler 700 XTX. And it is EFI. So I did a lot of the diagnostic stuff, checking resistance on sensors, throttle position sensor, checking voltages, stuff like that. Check the fuel injector and whatnot. So I kind of went little by little, and when I first started messing with it, it popped up a code. Checked the code. I can't remember what it was, but it kept flashing voltage. So I replaced the voltage regulator and took care of that problem. Cleared the codes out. None of them popped up other than when I would unplug something from the EFI electronic fuel ignition system. So I had spark, great compression, everything was going good there. Noticed it had bad gas in it, which things will run on bad gas, just not very well. I wasn't wanting to eliminate that at the moment because I wanted to make sure I was getting fuel. Problem was it wasn't getting fuel. So I started off with checking the injector, and it seemed to be working. Like I say, it seemed to be. Because I tested the throttle position sensor, and it tested bad. So, and the weird thing was I could get the machine to run by taking a screwdriver and twisting the throttle position sensor and getting it to run. Replaced it, and it made it worse. So at that point, I tried to do the same thing, and it wouldn't do anything. And at that point, I tried to get fuel out of the injector. Couldn't get fuel out of the injector. So at that point, I thought, well, injector's bad. Something's not going right there. Place the injector. $20 injector. Everything I bought for this machine, I would look up the parts on Country Cat, and it would give me the Arctic Cat part numbers. So I'd take the part numbers from there, and I'd go to Amazon. Amazon literally has every part you can find for an Arctic Cat. Any Arctic Cat ever. So I'd get the parts from Amazon. So the regulator, the injector, throttle position sensor even came from Amazon. I did not order that. I had the guy order that because it was a little bit more expensive part, and I didn't want to pay for it out of pocket myself first. But anyway, got everything from Amazon. So once I got down to that, I still wasn't getting anything out of the injector. So at that point, I thought, okay, I'm going to test the fuel pressure on the fuel pump. Fuel pump's turning on. Sounds like I can hold the hose out and fuel comes out. It's pumping it out. Put the fuel gauge on it, or the pressure gauge on it, and there was no pressure. It wouldn't even come off of zero. So I looked up a fuel pump, and you can either get the sending unit, or you can get the whole assembly from Arctic Cat for like $600 to $700. And I wasn't about to do that. And so, like always, I went to Amazon and looked it up. Amazon had a fuel pump. It was $600 to $700. Well, the assembly. So I decided, I put in Amazon the actual part number, because normally if I just put the part number in, I use DuckDuckGo as my search engine. But if I put it in there, it comes up Amazon, then it pulls up the first thing that it shows. If I actually put the part number into Amazon, I'd found this. It is a fuel pump. I'd say rebuild kit. It's not a rebuild kit. It's a fuel pump replacement kit. So it comes with, this is the old one, comes with a fuel pump, comes with a regulator, and it comes with the rubber gasket, and it also comes with a spare wires to adapt to this if the plug-in does not match to this, which mine did. I made sure it was the right year and everything. So this was the old fuel pump. I had pulled it out, and there's this gasket here that's supposed to be, which this isn't the gasket that was on it. The gasket that was on it was this right here, which, as you can tell, it's all flared up. Let me move over here. It's all flared up. Ain't gonna seal. It's junk. So what I'd do, cut a piece of hose, put it over top of it, shove it back up in there. I wish I had did a little bit more video on this. I really do. I was frustrated at the point because I had this side by side, and the funny thing was I had another side by side at work that was giving me a bunch of troubles, and I literally done the same exact thing to it, and I had tested everything on it: compression, timing, fuel pressure, spark plugs. I mean, I have done everything to this thing. I couldn't figure out what it was. Ended up finding out that the the muffler was packed completely full of corn. I had pulled probably a gallon or so of like corn out of this muffler, and it still rattles. I mean, I didn't get it all completely out. I had to replace the muffler because, didn't want the chance of something catching on fire. But I was frustrated with it because I had done the same exact thing to it as I was doing to this, and I was getting so frustrated that I didn't want to video or film any of this. But I wish I had filmed the fuel pump part, because nowhere on YouTube have I found where somebody actually pulls the fuel pump out. They pull the actual fuel pump off. They pull the old one out. It comes with the new seal, and you stick it in there. It comes with a new filter screen on the bottom, suction screen, and it comes with a regulator. Which the regulator is easy. It's a little clip. You pull it off, pop this out, push the new one in, done. Literally took me probably 2 minutes to get that thing put back together, put it back in, and here's what really tested my frustration after that, because I got it all back in, and of course, I put it in. I didn't even bolt the thing down because I wanted to make sure that it was working. I put the pressure gauge on it. I was making 40 plus PSI. Great. Found my issue. Put it all back together. Got the fuel injector back in to make sure it was spraying and everything. Started it up, running great, perfect. At this point, I'm like, good, it's good to go. Start putting everything back on it, and decided to try to start it again. Fuel pump wasn't kicking on, and I thought, no way. I just bought this fuel pump kit. Oh, by the way, fuel pump kit, Amazon, got it for $100. You could get one for $80, but it doesn't come with the regulator. I would suggest replacing the regulator if you're going the extra mile to replace the fuel pump. Why not? It's an extra $20. But anyway, got down to it, and I pulled the pump out, and for whatever reason, it was not working. Would not kick on. So what I was thinking is that what this pump does is it builds pressure till it gets to a certain pressure, and then it shuts off. I think what was going on was something was stopping it from releasing. So I don't know if the regulator in it had an issue. And every time I turned it on, it had pressure already there, because I checked to make sure the fuel lines were clear. I made sure everything was working fine, but it was so weird. I pulled the pump out, I dumped it, and then all of a sudden it kicked on and it was working. I don't know what the deal was. But, and then I was like, oh, it's working. I put it back in and it quit working again. Don't know what happened. So I pulled it out and I set it in my coffee can overnight in gas and just let it sit there. So tonight I came out, hopped on it, plugged it in, it was working. I plugged it in, I got it running, it's been running great. Took it out, went for a spin, which I'll probably do again just to make sure. I'll probably do it a couple more times just to make sure everything's working all right. So, I mean, a lot of frustrations with it, but finally got it done. And I guess we're going to see if it starts up. So, even fixed the fuel gauge. Fuel gauge is not working on it, which I think when whoever pulled it out, when they put it back in, they had it turned a certain way and it jammed up the float, so the float was stuck at the bottom. Pump kicked on. Takes a few seconds. It's running. Everything seems to be working fine right now, so I don't know what the deal was. So just kind of want to share with you a little bit what was going on. If you have any questions about it, let me know down in the comments down below, and I'll try my best to let you know what I did. I didn't do much more than change the throttle position sensor. I had to replace a couple spark plugs, injector, voltage regulator. Oh, and I drained the old gas out and put fresh gas in it. That gas is pretty bad. Fresh gas in it, and changed the fuel pump. So everything seems to be working good. Definitely want to test it a few times before I call the customer and tell him to come get it, because like I say, taking a lot of time with it, and I want to make sure it's right when it goes back. So pull it out here and take her for a spin again. Oh, and it is snowing, by the way, too. So, fun for me in the snow. Headlights. Something definitely wrong with the clutch, or the belt's really wore out. It slips a lot. call that a done for sure. I know it might look like that I'm being a little hard on it. Place I used to work at, well, it was when I was probably about 10 years younger. But place I used to work at, manager there always says if he test drove it and it's still running, it's good to go. What I was just doing, the ground is practically ice out there, so it didn't struggle at all to be just spinning around and whatnot. Tires and everything, I mean, it's just so slick. I was in four-wheel drive too, so two-wheel drive, it just slides all over whatever. So in four-wheel drive, that's pretty good. Like I said, belt slips a little bit. I don't know if I'm getting it wore in a little more because it seemed to be grabbing a little better this time. And like I say, I don't know how long it's been since it's ran or when it last ran, because it had pretty bad gas in it and it looked like it'd been sitting in the shed for quite a while. But and like I say, the best way to test run it is to, test run it. You don't want to just putt around, test run it. Get out there, test run it. Just like when, I had the mower in here, I did a video on a while back. First thing I did, I let it warm up, get the rings reseated and everything, got it real nice and hot, shut her down, let her cool off, and then I got her started up and got her warmed up again, and I went out there and I cut the tallest grass I possibly could. And that guy is completely ecstatic about his lawnmower. And he can't tell me enough how much he enjoys mowing with it. But just like this, though, this kid will be glad that, because he said he's messed with it a few times. That was another thing. Why didn't I check the fuel pump first? Why didn't I check injector first? Why didn't I check whatever? When he gave it to me, he told me he put a new fuel pump in it and he put a new injector in it. When he was telling me this, it sounded like he had been messing with it and he couldn't get it running, and that had been recent. Well, from what I found out, and I know you're not supposed to take the guy's word for what he says, blah, 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 blah. But with an EFI system, most times if something's bad, the EFI tells you code, whatever. I just kind of go through my process of what needs to be done. I heard the fuel pump kicking on, didn't think nothing of it. I pulled the fuel line off, saw fuel coming out. Didn't think there was a fuel issue until I actually put a gauge on it and found out that it wasn't having any pressure. But definitely, if he replaced the fuel pump and the injector, it hadn't been for quite a while. But it'd been sitting. But anyway, thing runs great, sounds good. Only thing is, it may need a belt soon. Don't know how often he's planning on running this, but I guess he'll get it back and see if he can keep it running for a little longer. Anyway, test ran good. I like it. I think it's good. I'm going to call it good. Like I said, if you guys got any questions about what I did, any questions about if you got any Articats or anything you're having problems with, ask me. I could probably help you, depending on what it is. But yep, that's the update on the side-by-side. Okay, so I'm gonna get started on the electrical in the bathroom. I gotta do it first to finish the attic. So I gotta get this cut out for my mirror, medicine cabinet, and then a cubby made for that cabinet so it'll sit you know, 4 inches deeper into the wall. Kind of narrow that up a little bit. So I got to do that. I've got to. So originally I had plugs in here put there. This one will stay, but there's a plug over there. There's a plug there. Yeah, there's one over there. One there. Those got to come out because eventually there'll be a shower here, so I won't need. The drywall will come down there. I'll take a little bit of drywall down here. Not really sure how I'm going to do that yet, but this drywall is going to come out. So I got to put light switches here. Take that plug out, move it up here, and then a plug here, plug there, and then yeah, and then there'll be 2 plugs over here. And then I got to put my vent and my light in for the shower. I'll have a light that goes above the vanity, and then I'll have 2 lights here. So that's pretty much about it. So I'm going to start taking some drywall out. I got to start, I'll probably start taking drywall out and then start cutting this out. And then I'll get my electrical boxes laid out, because that's going to take me a little while to kind of do some of that stuff. So probably going to start over here and get this tore out first, and then maybe start taking some of this out, because yeah, that's the main thing, is getting this framed in here, and then electrical boxes. But once I get that all done and all wired in, then I can go ahead and finish the rest of my attic, because that's, I believe, is the last thing that I got to wire up in this house before I can start finishing the walls and buttoning everything up. So I'm going to get started and get it knocked out. Alright, camera died and I did a few other things while camera was off, so just kind of show you. I got the sink moved over. This will be where it sits. I got the 2 outlets on the wall. Medicine cabinet sits in the center. I had to cut the top off because it was one of those that had the 3 big bulbs that went in the center there. Did away with those, and then I'm going to have a light that comes off of here and then it shines down on the sink. I haven't done anything over here yet. I need to put my light switches there. I was going to put the box here, but I actually want to center it so it's centered with the toilet. And then I got to see if I have another box, because there's another electrical box that's going to go there. And then this thing's all in. The only thing is I started to secure it and then thought, better not do that, because if I have to put a tub in here, I'll have to remove that to get the tub in, because the room is actually 5 foot wide from stud to stud, so it's going to fit pretty tight. So I'd have to get that pushed in and then move all this stuff back in afterwards. Sink will have to go in after the floor's down. This will be in before the floor goes down, and I'll just do trim around the bottom or something. Same thing with up against here, because I'm going to put drywall up against this and then trim it. Probably paint this. Well, actually, it'll get painted white. Just like the sink is. A few things I got to touch up on the sink. But still got to do the fixtures and whatnot. I'm going to stop this project for now. Well, at least tonight. Because it's time for me to eat supper anyway, and I'm wore out. I did a lot of cleaning up, because I was tracking stuff in and out. It's muddy outside, so I ended up having to clean up the hallway. I ended up vacuuming the whole house and cleaning the whole house. So, but the hard part's done. Getting the medicine cabinet in, getting the other cabinet put in the wall. So now all I got to do is run electrical to my boxes, put plugs in my boxes, drywall everything in here, floor and stuff like that. But won't get to that until after I get the attic done. Attic's more of a priority right now. I have everything for the attic. I just need to get it in. Unlike here, I'd still have to go buy stuff and whatnot. But other than that, that's it for now.